Hi, this is Jay. Welcome to my channel. Recently, I've been going over all my Appalachian through hike gear, just going over each category in detail. And today, I will go over all the miscellaneous gear like first aid kit, poop kit, and other items I haven't covered in other videos. And I'll tell you why I'm bringing them and what I use them for. So come on back after the intro. In case the things I talk about would be confusing to you and you don't know what's going on, I am through hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2022, which is this year, I guess, in a week or so, actually. So here is all my miscellaneous gear. It's all put together now, so I can present them out to you. There's a lot of little things. So here we go. First off is my toiletry kit. These are the same as everyone else, really. Here it is. Nothing much to it. I like to use normal little toothpaste. Some people try to go ultralight and get those little dried up cubes. I tried them, but you have to generate quite a little bit of spit to get them to really foam up. So I didn't like them. So I like using regular toothpaste. So here it is. And I like to use a full handled toothbrush for brushing. Normally I use a Sonicare system and nothing can beat an electronic toothbrush, but I figure I'm not going to use a little toothbrush like this and brush considering how much junk food and sugar I'll be eating. So I prefer to use a long handled toothbrush, especially a curved one. So this is what I'll be bringing, and I do prefer this. So that is that. And I do have a lot of these little dental pick deals. They're super cheap. I reuse several of them over and over for quite a while, so this should last me quite a bit. And I have another package of these in any resupply boxes. Anytime I get shoes sent to me on trail, I'll have some things in there just to back me up. And I have a little thing of floss, and in the top I have a needle taped in with little white duct tape, and that's just for repairs. And I can tell you for sure that that needle will come in handy on multiple occasions. So if you're thinking about it and you're on the edge, I'd say go for it, because you never know when you're going to need it. It's always one of those things where you're happy you have it. And never do one of these, someone else on trail will have it, so I can borrow theirs. Bring your own stuff. Be independent. And yeah, I've used a needle to fix buttons on my shirt. I've used it to sew like water bottle holders on a backpack together before. So really useful. You could use it for fixing your backpack as well. You'll find in the first 1,000 miles maybe, your gear works great, but after that you're gonna have to start getting into repair mode to make sure everything lasts until you finish the hike. So these are my oral care. I keep everything in hefty freezer bags, which I use for everything: garbage, cooking, everything. They're great, thick, and waterproof mostly. These two things probably aren't that popular on trail, but I'm bringing them. This is a Fisher Space Pen. It's wrapped in plastic though, not the metal one, so it's actually quite light. And this is one of those JAS all-weather notebooks. It's waterproof, and I like it because not just it's waterproof, but the waterproofness makes it a little more durable. Pages have a little shine to them, so they're more resistant to wear. And I use this to take notes for each day. I write the date, the day, whatever notes I have about the day, then I write the mile that I camped that night, and I figure out how many miles I hiked and write it all in, and any other pertinent notes like hikers I met or people I'm sleeping near. And it's just nice to have. When I get home after the hikes, I'll type it all into a spreadsheet that way. And I even keep like little notes on the sides like C and circle for cowboy camp and tent or zero, Nero, things like that. So I'll be bringing it. I am thinking about tearing out maybe a third of the pages though, because I don't think I'm going to use them all, but these are for me. And by the way, a space pen, I always use space pens. Maybe it's the nerd in me, but I like them because when it's super cold, they don't freeze. And when it's super hot, they're never going to explode. They can take extreme tolerances in temperature, so they work even if it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit out. So moving on, I carry a bunch of vitamins. There's quite a bit here. There's probably enough here to last me 2 months, but I bought like 200 of them and I just dumped the rest in here, as well as a bunch of my resupply boxes. I'll carry them. I've done this throughout the PCT as well as Arizona Trail, so I'm willing to carry all that extra weight. I need the extra vitamins because I know I'm not eating a balanced diet on trail. And then here, this is, I'm almost 50 years old. I'll be 50 years old in just a few months. Like, ooh, 4 months. But this is Osteo RX, one a day. And there's a bunch in here. And I have several in resupply boxes as well. And the reason I like to bring a lot is because if you buy them in town, you buy them in like these things 100 and they're 3 times as big as this, like this bag. But I'll take those one a day. I have found on the PCT around mile 150, my knees were starting to hurt. I blamed a lot of the incline trail, but I started taking these, and after a while, the rest of the trail, I was fine, no problem. So ever since then, I've been taking them. Arizona Trail, my knees never bothered me, but I took them all the time before, during, and after. So I'll continue to take them, but they're the Osteo RX. Another item are these little towels. They're basically little dried towels. There's 2 different sizes here. I use these everywhere as well. I just carry a whole bunch extra because they don't weigh that much. They're just kind of bulky, but this one's a little smaller than the other one. But what you do is you just pour some water on them just slowly because it takes a little while for them to absorb the water. But once it absorbs, it's basically rayon-like fabric. And they're pretty, not abrasion resistant. I would say they're durable. And I use them to, first I wipe my face, my ears, my neck, and then I do my arms, pretty much everything, and just work your way down. After halfway, maybe one side is done, I'll wipe my leg. And usually the legs will get it so dirty that I pretty much have to throw them away. But after the legs, I'll do my feet because the feet get dirty. I don't know how dirty they'll get on the AT. There won't be as much dirt, especially in the beginning with all the snow. Thanks, Izzy. But yeah, I use these all the time. It's really important to keep your feet clean. Just get all the dirt off there that you can. And it's nice. It just feels nice getting all the oils and sweat off your face as well. And also, if you clean your legs and your arms and everything, your quilt will stay clean. A lot of people use liners even when it's warmer, but I just sleep in my quilt the way it is all the time. And as long as you keep yourself clean, the quilt stays remarkably clean. So I really enjoy using these. On the very bottom of my miscellaneous gear bag, I have this. It's just a big clump of nylon string. Thickness is maybe about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I don't even know how many feet of it there is here, but it's light, it's bulky. A lot of people would not carry something like this. But I will say on the PCT, I was so glad I had something like this with me because my Microspikes, the rubber part in the Microspikes started to tear. And at any moment, it could have just continued tearing and just ripped right off when I'm on the side of a big hill or something. So I'm glad I had something like this so I could tie the chains together where the rips were, just to hold it in place so it would last the rest of the Sierra Nevadas. So useful, and I'm sure I'll have some other use for them, but they're really thin. Nylon is very strong, so you can go with real thin cord and it's fine. Replacement guy lines, you can do anything with it. Here is my repair kit. I have earplugs in here. That should be my first aid kit. There you go. Miscellaneous, it's mostly for repairing things. Of course, I have super glue, crazy glue gel. I have backup water tablets, water purification tablets. And I have a sleeping pad repair kit. These I find are essential, very essential. I've had to repair my sleeping pads 3 times now, all of them throughout the years. So I definitely bring this. I took pictures of the instructions so I can just carry this and it's much lighter. And I have various types of Cuban repair tape. This one is a nylon repair tape, so it's for more my quilt and my rain jacket or rain pants. And these two are clear carbon fiber tape. I mentioned earlier, like the first 1,000 miles, you're not going to care much. You might not have to do much maintenance to your gear. But after that, it's nice to have this tape to fix whatever might happen. I did find, like my fanny pack, I saw the back of it was worn thin, and that would have compromised whatever waterproofness it had. So it was time to just put a strip of this just over where it's worn, and then it's back to normal. And you just might put in additional ones because it's going to wear more as well. But yeah, so these are my repair kit. By the way, the super glue I keep in a bag, and then I put everything else in the bag because super glue, you definitely don't want it to leak. This everyone knows. It's just Aleve. It's sodium naproxen basically. You know, you need it. It's a different type of blue pill. Here are more things I need to take, but this is high blood pressure pills. It's medication prescribed to me. I have 90 in here, and I could renew online and have my sister pick it up and mail it to me in a future resupply box. But I plan on carrying the whole thing. I'm kind of picky with my prescription medicine. I'll just keep it in here. I don't know if it's legal or not. I know nobody will care, but I like to just keep it in here. But yeah, in case you didn't know, I have a polycystic kidney disease, and it causes high blood pressure, so I need to take medication for that. Other things I have are a Sharpie. I'm not sure if I'll bring this or not. I was mulling it over, but I may not. But I have this. This is for my backpack or anything else. You could generally attach this to your backpack or anything, or even use it to just kind of wrap around things and just slide it closed. But I'm bringing it because the Z-Packs umbrella kit holder, it comes with a little thinner shock cord, and I'm kind of thinking it's gonna break, or it's not gonna be strong enough to hold the umbrella up. So I'm carrying one of these just so I have it when I think when I'll eventually need it. This is a Z-Packs pack liner. It's very expensive for what it is. Most people probably don't think they need a pack liner. I prefer it. The arc hulls aren't completely waterproof, so you need to find some way to get the water coming off it. But I don't like to get all the stuff in the mesh compartments wet, so I just cover it up. And I found if I put this on and I use an umbrella, the rain washes off the umbrella and then just washes off the back of this, so everything stays nice and dry. It's actually quite effective. When I was in Washington State, it rained at least half the days I was there, and it was fine. And of course, on the Wonderland Trail, it also rained half the days we were out there. And we used this and the umbrella, and I loved it. So I'll keep using it. I like to keep my things dry, so just good backup. And these are very, very light. They have a little bit of bulk, but super light. At the bottom of my miscellaneous bag would be masks. I actually like these masks. There's some masks where it's too tight, or some masks that cut through my chin. Because I don't know if you know, but Asians, maybe most Asians, have high cheekbones. Did I say chin? I mean cheeks. They have high cheekbones, so when I wear a mask, it just cuts right here. So I'm really picky about the masks I wear. And these are really comfy, so I'm having 2 with me here. These are from Germany, well, from China. But I'll have 2 with me just so I have one that I can use throughout the hike and then throw it away after the hike, and then one for the flight back home and then toss it after that. But yeah, 2. This is my hiking umbrella. It's a Snow Peak brown. It's folded up kind of messy right now, and it's about 5.1 ounces, so it's super light. Had this through most of the PCT as well as pretty much every other trail. Well, actually, on the Arizona Trail, I used the Chrome umbrella, but on the Wonderland Trail and during my Glacier National Park backpacking trip, I carried this. And you can use it for shade for the sun as well. I made a video all about why I like umbrellas, so I'll put a link here. So don't click on it yet, but maybe check it out later. But it's I love umbrellas, so I'm bringing this little guy, and I'll show you how you open and close it. Yeah, it's really weird when you open it. It's kind of normal, sort of, except the first knuckle joint area doesn't pop open, so you have to have a trick to it, what I do is I turn or face the wind so that wind helps me pop it open. And that works out really well. And then to close it, you have to bend every one of the first joints one by one all the way around to get to it. But it's still worth it. If it rains on and off, I actually don't bend the first knuckle. I'll just wrap it and then put it in my water bottle holder and then carry it like that. It's a lot longer when you don't fold that first joint I'll tell you about later. It'll be more like this long, but it's still good and it's not too obtrusive. But that'll be with me. This item will be in the bottom of my compactor bag most of the time or near my head when I'm sleeping, but it's just a rag. Just a plain old rag. Doesn't have to be super special. It's light. I use it to basically wipe off condensation from the inside of my tent. I always keep it there with me because I know probably most nights that's going to happen. And it's durable enough that I could wipe all the frozen water off the ceiling without ripping or leaving fuzz all over it. So yeah, I've used this many, many times for that purpose and it's still working well. And also, like I said, I like to clean myself off. And so if there's a creek somewhere nearby, I'll use this to wipe myself off instead of using those little coins. And also I use this as basically a washcloth in places that don't have them. Like if you go to a hostel somewhere or some weird hotel, motel, campground shower, campground shower is definitely not going to have washcloths. So you need a washcloth, or at least I do, because I like to get really clean. And this will work as a washcloth. And if I squish it hard enough, I'll have to use this as my towel because I'm not bringing any other towels. So this will be my little camp towel. You just do a little bit at a time, squeeze it out, a little bit at a time, squeeze it out. Do your hair, squeeze it out. It takes a while, but it works. The other item I haven't gone over yet are my Microspikes. They're the Cthulhu Microspikes. I'm not going to open them right here. I'll show it to you a little later. They're probably dirty. And these are actually from another thru hiker on the PCT. Her name's Sideways. We hiked quite a bit, and we hiked through the Sierra Nevadas. And then she knew I was going to throw mine away because they had the tears in the rubber, and I didn't trust them at all anymore. And hers were still in good condition, so I accepted hers because she was just going to get rid of them because she's from Europe. So she was just going to throw them away or leave them in a hiker box instead of trying to mail it home, which would cost more. So I took them, and I've been using them ever since. We did all their day hikes, or we did all their backpacking trips in the Sierra Nevadas the next year, and just other places, but I've used them quite a bit. So Arizona Trail, I use them quite a bit. And I'll be bringing them with me on the AT at least the first month or so. I'm not sure. Whenever it looks good, I'll mail them home. They're so heavy. One thing I don't like is always having to get them on and off, on and off, on and off. So I think I'm going to loop them onto my shoulder strap somewhere using that little elastic shock cord loop I had just to hold it in place somewhere easily accessible so I don't put them away all the way and then take them out again. Just let them hang. Here is my toiletry kit, or poop kit, I guess. It's in a brand new Ziploc bag. I was fancy this time around. I went for all new bags. I threw out all the old ones. But, all right, here it is all laid out. Some of it looks kind of gross because they're just kind of dirty. But, oh, I gotta get some toilet paper. I gotta put some there. But these are napkins. I don't know where I got these from, but at some point, oh, these are McDonald's. Probably at Tusayan. Yeah, Tusayan. But they're from just near the Grand Canyon. But at some point, I used to take toilet paper and then make it into little rolls so I can count out how many days I'll be out on trail, and then always add 2 more just as backups in case you go twice a day or you need 2 handfuls. But at some point I just got lazy, and whatever napkins I grabbed, I just use the napkins. They're actually pretty durable, so they work fine. That's what I did. And this I started in the Marine Corps because most of the porta potties in Iraq never had toilet paper. So I always had toilet paper with me, but I always carried extra in a little baggie. Well, I guess not in Iraq, but ever since then, I had access to buy these little baggies, and I put a single wad of toilet paper in there, and then They are my extreme backups, as well as I can just toss these in anywhere and I'll have them ready as backups and they're completely dry, ready to go. So I keep 3. I think I was just going to keep 2. I'm not sure when 3 got in there, but I like having backups for toilet paper. Although if I had to, I would just use leaves and anything else that would work at least. But next, I have wet ones. I actually made a whole video about pooping in the woods. I'll link them here as well. But these are wet ones. I like using the wet ones after I'm done with the toilet paper. I like to use the wet ones to get everything super clean because I found if you don't get everything super clean, at least I will get chafing. And I would rather carry a ton more weight than have to deal with chafing down there. And these are really old. I'll probably get rid of those. But yeah, I keep a bunch, and I like these single ones because they're just lighter. There's more trash though, but I have packets of just like the long refills, and I'll just have those sent to me later. This is just for the beginning, and we'll see if I need a lot more. And then that's it. And then my Deuce of Spades, like everyone else has. I've had this quite a bit, and I've used it quite a bit. I don't know how well you can see how worn it is, but I don't know if you've ever seen any Deuce of Spades this worn before. It's actually pretty good, huh? I don't know how people say they're gonna dig a hole with sticks. I guess if I was super ultralight, I'd be okay with digging a hole just a couple of inches down because at least like even the AT especially, I can't imagine it. It's everything has to be so rooty. I mean, there's gotta be just roots constantly as you go down. And this at least cuts through them so you can dig a nice hole. But Deuce of Spades. I keep the Deuce of Spades concave and inward, so it's nice and curved like that. I'll just put some more wads of paper towel in there, at least 3, 4 more. And then this goes in the mesh of my backpack. And by the way, the wet wipes, the wet ones are antimicrobial, so it helps, you know, in case you get anything on your fingers or anything. So if you do, it'll help kill all the germs. But it will also not biodegrade, so you definitely have to take wet wipes. In fact, people were saying that they say take wet ones with you, but I have no qualms taking dirty toilet paper with me. In fact, all my backpacking trips, I have a little separate baggie just for dirty toilet paper. Even car camping, when I dig a hole, I bring the toilet paper with me. It's only the right thing to do. But so I have no qualms about carrying dirty wet wipes home with me. I don't burn toilet paper. Don't ever do that there. But if you look up Google and just search burning toilet paper starting fires, wildfires, and there's several instances of that. And it's the whole principle of leave no trace. If you pack it out, you should pack it back in, not burn it. Otherwise, you know, just like everyone else burning trash out there. And the last of my miscellaneous items is the first aid kit. It's a little bigger than most people probably, but I've learned that I need these items. Let me show you here. Okay, here's everything in that bag. I do carry a little folding scissors. This is useful for cutting KT tape, repair tape, anything Velcro for your shoes. Or also, they never told you this when you're younger, like I never heard it when I was younger. But yeah, nose hairs grow constantly. And if you don't cut it, they start itching like crazy and it drives me nuts. So almost once a week, week and a half, I have to go in there and cut everything. So I need this as well as for everything else. Repairing things, anything. It's nice having scissors. My knife is just a knife, so I need scissors. And a fingernail kit. I don't know how people cut their fingernails with scissors, but I like to use the fingernail clippers because it's super important to keep your toenails well trimmed, not too long, not too hard, and it has to have a nice little file here to smooth it out so it doesn't wear out your socks too quickly. So fingernail kit and tweezers. These are just I don't even know what the brand they are. They're just called the tweezers, but they work really well. They're really small and they just pack away. They have a sharp point and then they pack in this thing, which keeps it pretty secure so the point doesn't ruin anything in your backpack. And it is made in the USA. Uncle Bill's Silver Gripper. But yeah, I like these because you never know when you're going to need tweezers. I did think about getting the Victorinox little Swiss Army knife deal with the tweezers and toothpick in there, but I just like a bigger knife, and I just like a slightly bigger knife than the Victorinox. So there's that. And these are more dental soft picks. I think I just toss them in there. I probably don't need those in there. A little bit thing on Neosporin. On the PCT, I didn't think I needed Neosporin or a whole bunch of Band-Aids. So I brought 4 Band-Aids, and let's just say I used them all up in one day and needed way more. Then I wound up buying a much bigger tube of Neosporin. This is a half-ounce tube. I only could find a 2-ounce tube, and then I basically wasted a bunch by just squeezing it in the trash, so keep it lighter, and then carry that the rest of the trip. But Neosporin's pretty useful because the one thing that could take me off the trail is any kind of infection, because infections you can't do much about once it starts, but you can do something to prevent it. These are Imodium AD pills. Everyone knows about that. It's always nice to have because if it's at night and you're asleep and your stomach feels really weird, it's nice to pop one just because you don't want to have to get up every couple hours later. It's nice to have between towns just to help alleviate any problems in your stomach that you might have with them. I always had them with me in Iraq as well. This is a tick key. I don't know if I should hang it off the outside of my backpack or just wait a month. I was going to wait a month before I did it, but people say there are ticks out there now, so I might do it. I'm not sure, but we'll see. This is a little tube of Aquaphor. It's a basically moisturizer cream. I found I get cracks in my cuticles, like right along there, like in all my fingers on every long trail I've done, as well as like any other situation where you put your body through a lot over many days. And once they crack, it takes forever to heal because every time you dig into something, your backpack for anything, you just rip it open more and more. And I hate them. So once I get a little bit, I'm going to try to put these on everywhere and keep my hands from being too annoying. And I know in the beginning it's going to be really dry, so I think it's pretty essential. So it's nice having a little tube like that. And I just have an assortment of Band-Aids, not too many actually, 5 Band-Aids here, a special Band-Aid. This is a moisture Band-Aid. It keeps whatever wound wet. And this is like a second skin type Band-Aid. Similar idea on this one, just a much bigger one. These are second skins, they're not really Band-Aids, but they cover larger areas, so like large abrasions would be good. I have several alcohol prep pads. These will also be helpful for repairing the sleeping pad, so I'll bring that. Several folds of KT tape. I found they are the best for me for taping up hot spots or blisters. The Leuco tape is just way too strong for me. So like if I've been walking all day, my feet are damp and I'm trying to peel that Leuco tape off, it's hasn't, but it felt like it was going to rip my skin off with it. So I prefer KT tape. Some people like the Leuco tape, so you just have to try them out and see which one you like. And this here is a Fresnel lens. It's flat. I don't know if you know what a Fresnel lens is, but it's basically it's like a magnifying glass that's flat. And I bring these all the time in all my first aid kits because I found if I get a splinter or something, I'm almost 50 again. I have to hold my finger about this far away, and it's hard to see the splinters. So I like to use this so I could hold it and then get the splinter out. It just magnifies it. It's like a old person thing, I guess, but maybe I can use it to read really small writing. I don't know. But it's super flat, so I keep it with me all the time. Let's put everything away. I do have a pair of earplugs in here for when, you know, people snore or something. I haven't used earplugs at all on all my trips. I don't mind rain hitting the tent and things like that, but it's definitely for people when people aren't observing Hiker Midnight. I'm gonna need that, I think, because I think there's gonna be a lot of cases of that on the AT. It's more people. I forgot to go over this item. This is something called Friction Zone. It's only maybe half full. I have found this is excellent for preventing blisters if you have a hot spot, but you can't tape it or you don't want to tape it, like especially between the toes or something like that. You just put it on one toe and they last all day. They're not oily like Vaseline, so there's not as much like mess later. By the end of the day, they're still functional, but they just kind of wipe right off. So I prefer these, and I'll bring it with me because it also will help with chafing if that ever happens. And like I said, I like to be independent. I want to ask around for things when I can bring it. And it's also way lighter than like a Body Glide stick. It's just nice having a little tub and you just apply it. And those are all my miscellaneous gear items. You got to see my first aid kit. I don't think I've gone over it at all, as well as my toiletry kit and everything. And if you have any questions, feel free to just comment below. I'll get back to you. And the miscellaneous kit is very individual. Like a lot of people don't need some things, a lot of people do need things. It's just up to them. So I'd say if you see other people with miscellaneous kits, just don't give them too much gaff because, you know, it's miscellaneous stuff that you may or may not need. But I've learned that I need all this and I'm willing to carry the weight, especially like the vitamins and the OsteoRx. Those are heavy, but I'm willing to carry the weight because they help me get through the trail. So one last item is my Z-Packs wallet. I actually bought this a long time ago. I just never used it, so it looks brand new. And I just tried to write my name on it, but it's just a little wallet. I bought it a long time ago, but I didn't use it. I brought a bigger one, but then it was just annoying. I would always fold it anyway because it was too big. I wish there was one just a little bigger, but smaller than the longer one. But I'll carry my coins, cash, credit card, stuff like that in there. And I'll always have this with me in my fanny pack. In my backpack, I'll always keep a backup credit card, maybe, or some backup cash in my miscellaneous bag. And if that gets stolen, I'll have this. If this gets stolen, I'll have that. So that's the way I like to carry my money and credit cards. Yeah, but this will be mostly in my miscellaneous kit, but the night before I head to town, I'll put it in my fanny pack just so I have it there. Same with my mask. I'll always have my mask. Probably once I leave town that night, I'll put it away for good. And then the night before heading into town, I'll pull it out and put it in my side pocket so it's easily accessible when I get to town. So you don't have to dig around for it. And the wallet is important because, well, credit card, you got to pay for things. And if you're going to stay somewhere, it's nice to have a wallet, cash, donations, payments, things like that. But yeah, that's all my miscellaneous gear for the Appalachian Trail 2022. It's kind of more than most people, I think, but that's it. My start date is in just a few days, actually. It's Sunday night, kind of late already. And I fly Thursday morning, so I'll be flying just in 4 days. Hope everyone's doing fine, and I will talk to you all later. See you. Bye. Here is my first aid kit. All right.